Now at 7 o'clock, the latest on two missing 81-year-old women in the Portland area. Sunrise reporter Ashley Grams is going to join us with a look at what Portland police are doing to help find them.
And rapper Kid Cudi testifying against Sean Diddy Combs, the latest in the trial of P. Diddy.
And we're also live this morning along the downtown waterfront. Portland's City Fair, part of the big Portland Rose Festival, of course, kicks off later today. We'll have a preview from the waterfront live right here at 7 o'clock on KGW Plus.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis is handling the job of two men today. He's got the weather. He's got the traffic. Let's lead off with the forecast, Chris.
I got one clicker for each job. All right, let's start off with this, a beautiful painting. No, it's not a painting. It's a live picture here at 7 o'clock from our Chehalem tasting room in Sherwood. It is a beautiful camera shot from there. 50 degrees last check in Sherwood. Lincoln City, our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera there. Looking at Cascade Head off in the distance. The sky clearing nicely. And over downtown, we're trying to poke some holes in that cloud cover as well. 52 degrees last check at PDX. All right, the plan for today. Broken cloud cover this morning. Breaking up as we roll through the day. And eventually temperatures inching into the lower 70s for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. A great looking forecast today. Most of the weekend's pretty awesome. We do have some rain coming our way Monday, Memorial Day morning. I'll walk you through that in just a few seconds. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads right now. We start off with this crash on I-5 northbound in the Donald area. Semi overturned early this morning. No word on any injuries. You can see though that has cleared and traffic is rolling again through that section of I-5 northbound in Marion County. I want to take you back up to the north. We had a crash just a few minutes ago on the ramp from 84 westbound to I-5 north. It looks like the crash has cleared, but there is a little bit of a delay right now on the inbound Banfield. Let me get a quick look at those drive times. Up just a little bit. You're up to about 22 minutes now to get you from Troutdale west to the I-5 split. Guys?
Thank you, Chris. Top story here at 7 o'clock. All week, we've been tracking two separate cases of missing 81-year-old women from the Portland area. Both of them still missing this morning. So we're going to start with Joan Ivan, who went missing last weekend. Police say Joan was spotted in downtown Portland at the library earlier this week. But when officers got there, Joan was no longer there. Investigators say she has dementia and is known to frequent Dawson Park in North Portland and also the New Season store in that neighborhood. We also want to share the latest in the case of 81-year-old Judy Roberts. Judy's daughter tells us that her mother was spotted for a third time on the Oregon coast last Friday. Again, all three sightings of her on the coast were last Friday. The most recent one happening in Winchester Bay. That's between Florence and Coos Bay. She was also spotted last Friday in Florence and in Lincoln City. A reminder, she's driving a white 2017 Volkswagen Jetta, license plate 501JYP. It also has a unique bumper sticker that says, I Heart Ojai.
And as we covered their stories this week, we wanted to find out more about how investigators approach these kinds of cases.
Ashley Grams is joining us from the KGW newsroom. Ashley, we talked to Portland police about how they handle situations and cases like this. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Drew, China, good morning. They say trying to find older adults who might have cognitive challenges can be difficult. One of the main reasons, they often don't carry a cell phone that can be tracked, which means officers are searching the streets.
The strategy really is, depending on the case, we will do a grid search. We will put police officers in the neighborhood, especially if they're on foot, and we'll check to see if they're just around the block or maybe just down the block.
Sergeant Allen also said people who have memory issues often stay in places that are familiar. So it becomes really important for investigators to check places like a friend's house or a neighborhood grocery store. And unfortunately, these cases are fairly common. Sergeant Allen says they get calls about missing older family members about once a week. He offered these tips to keep your loved ones safe. Find a way to track them through a cell phone or maybe a watch. Have recent pictures on hand and check in on them regularly. And if you do need to make a missing persons report, do that as soon as you can so investigators can get to work. China.
Ashley, thank you. In the meantime, authorities are also asking for help finding a teenage boy that they say went missing from Portland's OHSU hospital Wednesday. Police say 15-year-old Tyler Shoup is in danger and has a medical condition that requires hospitalization. He's 5'9", blonde hair, blue eyes. He's believed to be in the Malala area. So if you see him or know where he may be, call 911.
In other local headlines this morning, investigators say they had probable cause to arrest a tribal police chief who was suspected of sex crimes before he died by suicide last month. In its final report on Charles Gardner's death, the Clark County Sheriff's Office says he committed crimes of sexual misconduct with a minor and sexual exploitation. They say the alleged crimes had gone on for 6 to 9 months. Gardner was the interim Cowlitz Tribal Police Chief. He was found dead in a car outside a Vancouver home last month, and the Sheriff's Office says the person who called 911 that night had gotten into a fight with Gardner after they found him inside their home. 2 Salem women were arrested for allegedly shooting a Corvallis man that they had met on a dating app. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says 20-year-olds Julia Yepes and Alexa Corral used the app to lure the man early Saturday, intending to rob him. The victim survived, but he was hospitalized. Deputies believe that the suspects may have done similar things in another county. Anyone with information about this should call the Benton County Sheriff's Office.
Your time now is 7:05. Crews at PDX finished installing the final sections of the airport's massive timber roof. It's the same roof design in the main section of PDX, and eventually the expanded areas will include a new Alaska Airlines lounge overlooking a small garden space, more shops and restaurants, quicker exit lanes, and the end of those temporary connector walls.
When we open, the passengers will be able to go directly from Concourse B to Concourse C. We will open with direct access to bag claim through new escalators, and also probably the big thing at that point, the bypasses go away, so it'll shorten the walk for the traveling public.
If all goes well, the new sections of the airport will open sometime in early 2026.
4 local teachers found out that their mortgage or their rent will be paid for the next year after earning All Point Community Credit Union's Educator of the Year honor. So here's a look at the winners. Ricardo Barber, for one, a 3rd grade teacher at Fabian Elementary. Rhiannon Young is another winner. We're going to see Rhiannon right there. Congratulations to her. She's a middle school teacher in Corbett. Sophia Aguirre, in English, that is, an English language development teacher at Aloha High School. And there's Hang Jones, a social worker at Marysville Elementary.
I once again thank my students and their parents for all their support.
I am so grateful for this community to be honoring teachers in this way.
I just want to thank all the educators before me who modeled what it means to be just a great person for our students.
My student and my family, that I have an opportunity to serve them. Without them, I cannot be here.
The schools where those educators work also winners because they're each getting $2,500 as well.
Your time now is 7:07. Headed over to meteorologist Chris McGinnis for a look at weather.
China, I know you have been not super happy with how cool it's been, right? And a lot of us kind of looking forward to the weather warming up. Well, here you go. You're in luck. It is not your imagination that it's been a while since it's felt warm and comfortable like spring, right? I mean, our normal high this time of the year is 70, and we haven't touched that in almost 2 weeks. We're about to take a run into the 80s, and maybe by the end of my 7-day forecast, possibly up to near 90. You'll see that in a second. All right, 52 right now over downtown Portland. Cloud cover trying to break up a little bit. The plan for today, those clouds will continue breaking up, and we will top out in the 70s for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. So good looking day today and a really nice looking weekend. Warmer tomorrow, 82, 79 with maybe some increasing clouds on Sunday, but Sunday itself still looks pretty good for the west side of the state. I do want to show you this. Futurecast does show some showers or possible thunder showers popping up late Sunday afternoon east of the Cascades, and that will then transition to some light rain for most of the region early on Memorial Day Monday. This is Futurecast before 5 o'clock. A front sweeps on through the region that'll knock our temperatures down and bring us a chance for some light rain on Memorial Day Monday. Not a lot, though. We're talking maybe a few hundredths of an inch of rain here in Portland. In any event, the next couple days look really nice. 72, again, the warmest that we've been in nearly 2 weeks. We top it in the lower 80s on Saturday, and then we cool down just a little bit for Sunday and Monday. There's that near 90-degree temperature I was talking about on Wednesday. Models have been fairly consistent with bringing in some warmer air for the middle of next week as well. So we'll wait and see on that, but at least one day of some pretty hot stuff out there. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads, and for that, I want to start off with the drive times. We're up just a little bit. Westbound I-84, 20 minutes now to get you in from Troutdale, and that in and of itself isn't that bad, but we had an earlier crash on the ramp to I-5 northbound from 84 west. That crash is clear, but there is some local slowing getting around that. So in terms of getting on the roads right now, you can see some slowing here, which for a Friday morning anyway, is a little unusual. This is out near Providence Medical Center. Outside of that, no other major issues on the roads. Guys?
Chris, don't go too far because you're tackling this question in our next segment. How fast is too fast? Chris is going to take a look at how far you can realistically go over the speed limit without getting a ticket. It's his latest edition of Driving Me Crazy. That's coming up in 2 minutes on Sunrise, streaming here live at 7 o'clock.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, a homeless outreach program in Portland is on the Multnomah County budget chopping block, and service providers who hail it as a success are fighting to save it. Watch The Story tonight live at 6:30 on KGW or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Mulco.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Mulco, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team. Tonight on KGW.
Chris is back with a new Driving Me Crazy segment where he takes a closer look at things that drive our viewers crazy on the roads. And Chris, you're talking about speeding today.
And there's lots of ways you can spin speeding and look at that. But one specific question I want to ask is, do you think there is a speed cushion, a speed at which you can go above the speed limit, but still probably not get a ticket?
I've led myself to believe, whether this is true or not, I've led myself to believe that as long as you're going between 1 and 9 miles over the speed limit, you're going to be okay. But I don't know that that's true, but that's what my brain tells me.
So I asked that very question of law enforcement. Stand by on that. I also asked that question of a few folks gassing up at Radio Cab, and here's what they had to say. Do you think there's a magic number there?
I say it's probably between 5 and 10 miles over.
Do you think there's some sort of speed cushion?
Yeah.
What do you think that number is?
It's probably 10 over.
Nobody on the road, and I got pulled over for being 5 miles over the limit, and that was in Washington State in the 80s. It has to be. Right, so I don't go over the speed limit in Washington.
One time, 45 years ago, she was doing 5 over the speed limit in Washington, and now she won't speed there. You got to love the deterrent effect
Never forgot that, right?
Long-lasting deterrent. Okay, so I did ask that question, and WSP got back to me. So Trooper Dakota Russell said this. He said each trooper has the discretion on what they will or will not write a ticket for. They also have discretion on whether they will or will not stop. He also added that in Clark County alone last year, WSP made more than 18,000 stops for speeding, and citations were issued 68% of the time. So about 12,000 people got tickets for speeding. From WSP in Clark County. All right, in Oregon, know this. Speeding is broken down by class, A, B, C, D, right? 11 miles per hour over is considered a Class C violation. That gets a minimum $165 fine. Know that that automatically doubles in work zones and safety corridors, in some cases up to $1,000. OSP calls speeding one of their fatal 5. And in February alone, troopers issued more than 8,000 citations for speeding. And we bring all of this up because as we go into the Memorial Day weekend and summer in general, it's known as an especially dangerous time on the road. You've heard the term the deadly 100, the deadliest 100 days, right? There's younger, less experienced drivers out there. And typically this is the time of the year where law enforcement get grants to up enforcement and whatnot. So we didn't answer the question.
No, I mean, police aren't going to tell us it's okay to go X number of miles over the speed limit, of course. But it is funny to me when you interview those people. Somehow we all did develop this idea in our heads that you can go a certain mile an hour over the speed limit and be okay.
And the question is, do you stay with the flow? And you said, well, you got pulled over once for staying with the flow.
Sure.
I will say that you can also get a ticket if you're holding up the flow.
If the flow's going 100 miles an hour, you probably don't want to follow the flow.
Probably just want to step off the freeway, right?
Right.
All right, I want to know what drives you nuts on the roads. You can post your videos or photos on my social media, or you can email me, cmcginnis@kgw.com. All right, let's get you out the door. Let's start off with a beautiful look over downtown Portland. It's beautiful. Well, it's going to get beautiful. It's maybe not too beautiful just yet, but the clouds are clearing. It's 52. The plan for today, Friday, kick back, relax, and enjoy, right? If you're one of the lucky that don't have to work today, you're going to enjoy increasing sunshine with highs getting into the 70s for the first time in almost 2 weeks. We've had a very cool stretch of weather here for the middle of May. We're going to start to warm that up more frequently and more often than not. Let's take you to the beach where the sky is clearing. This is really pretty from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. The beach forecast today is really nice. In fact, becoming mostly sunny with highs in the 60s for you folks, certainly decreasing clouds at least. Clouds already trying to break up over the Dalles right now, although it's interesting. This camera shot is from Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles, right? In the Dalles proper. The observation is from Dallasport, Washington on the other side of the river. So they're seeing things slightly different there. It's cloudy at that report at 54. Gorge forecast today, gorgeous, becoming mostly sunny, highs in the low to mid 60s from Hood River out towards Cascade Locks. And despite the chilly start, Central Oregon should be quite nice today. After starting off in the 30s, Bend, Madras, Prineville all getting into the 70s. Okay, real quick. Most of our holiday weekend forecast looks great, but I do want to point out this. There is rainfall potential in our forecast for Memorial Day Monday. Not much. Futurecast only spitting out a few hundredths of an inch to maybe a tenth of an inch in the valley, double that at the coast. That rain probably comes in early Monday morning, and for most of us is probably out of here by midday, leaving us with a pretty decent forecast. This is Futurecast early Monday, and there goes that front sweeping on through, and then it just works its way through Oregon and clears out by Monday afternoon. So that's the only real hiccup in our forecast heading into the holiday weekend. Outside of that, things look great. 72 today, again, the warmest that we've been in almost 2 weeks. We top out in the 80s tomorrow, cool down slightly on Monday, and then, or Sunday, I should say. Memorial Day Monday starts off with some showers. We bring back some sun breaks in the afternoon. And then real quick, our typical first 90-degree day of the year isn't until June 18th. Now, typical, I mean, we can do it earlier than that, obviously, but the point is that models continue inching warmer for Wednesday, so stay tuned. Middle of next week, we could get a little one-day spike of some heat. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads right now, and I want to start off with the drive times because we are up just a smidge. I mean, not bad, but 84 westbound, at least by Friday morning standards, is running a little slow. We had an earlier crash on that ramp. It looks like the crash is clear. That's the ramp from I-84 west to I-5 north. So the crash is out of the way, but the drive, of course, is a little slow. This is back towards Lloyd Center. Door number 3 takes us out towards Providence Medical Center, so we're up a little bit on that side of town. Otherwise, China and Drew, our drive on our Friday morning, getaway day for a lot of folks, is in pretty good shape.
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, Kid Cudi takes a stand in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Coming up in 2 minutes, we'll hear what he had to say about his run-ins with the accused rapper. Sunrise streaming at 7 continues right after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW+.
Grammy-winning musician Kid Cudi testified in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs yesterday, shedding light about his time dating Cassie Ventura and the dramatic run-ins with Combs that followed. NBC's Chloe Melas has the latest.
Musician Kid Cudi,
what are you expecting today?
Taking the stand, testifying that his one-year relationship with Cassie Ventura led to dangerous run-ins with her ex, Sean Diddy Combs.
Day and night.
The Grammy-winning musician, well known for tracks like Day and Night and Pursuit of Happiness, alleging that Combs was involved in a 2012 incident in which a Molotov cocktail exploded in his car. These images of the damaged Porsche shown to the jury. Kid Cudi, whose real name is Scott Mescudi, says he filed a police report at the time, but Combs' defense team noted he was never charged in connection to the crime. Kid Cudi also telling the jury that he called the police after Combs allegedly broke into his Hollywood Hills home when he was dating Ventura, though no charges were filed there either. Today's testimony, a key part of the government's claim that Combs led a racketeering conspiracy.
The government, for racketeering, needs to prove that Combs had this enterprise and they engaged in these additional crimes, one of which can be arson. So the burning of the Porsche with a Molotov cocktail, that can suffice for the government.
Kid Cudi also testified that Ventura confided in him about Combs' physical abuse. These images of Ventura's bruised body shown in court earlier this week, taken by her mother, who testified they were a result of Combs' jealousy over her daughter's relationship with Kid Cudi.
This is a stressful situation. I'm glad it's behind me.
Combs faces 5 criminal counts and up to life in prison. He has pleaded not guilty.
Here's a look at some of today's other national headlines with your morning rush. Harvard University is suing the Trump administration after Homeland Security revoked its ability to enroll foreign students, leaving about 7,000 international students in limbo. The government says Harvard refused to share visa information. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem calls this a warning, saying that enrolling international students is not a privilege, or pardon me, she says it is a privilege, not a right. Harvard, meanwhile, calls the move illegal and harmful. Here's a look at ring cam video now that shows the deadly small plane crash that happened in San Diego early yesterday morning. The crash sparked a fire that damaged several homes and vehicles. That plane was carrying 6 people. All 6 are presumed dead. Lawyers for accused University of Idaho killer Brian Kohberger are asking for a judge to delay his trial in part because of the publicity the case is generating. They point to what they call a leak of evidence that aired in a recent Dateline special. The defense argues that could influence a jury. Kohberger's lawyers also say they need more time to review evidence and to complete their own investigation in order to prepare an adequate defense. Right now, the trial is set to begin in August. Disney is delaying the release of the next 2 movies in the Marvel Avengers series. Sorry, China, you'll have to wait on this one. Avengers Doomsday is moving from next May to next December. Secret Wars will shift from May to December of 2027. Doomsday is currently still in production. And that's a look at your morning rush.
Your time now is 7:24. We're going to take a live look from our Lincoln City Skycam here in just a second. The Oregon coast, popular destination for short holiday weekends like Memorial Day. It's beautiful out there. And if you are traveling further, though, be prepared for a lot more foot traffic in the airport.
NBC's Marissa Parra has more on your travel forecast and some weather that may impact your plans.
Well, as you can see behind me, there is already a lot of travelers on the move here at Chicago O'Hare Airport. AAA projects 45 million Americans to be on the move through the Memorial Day weekend. That is expected to soar to numbers we haven't seen in decades. But depending on where you're going in the country, you may want to make sure you pack your umbrellas. We are seeing a rare May nor'easter, which is really putting a damper on some Memorial Day plans in other parts of the country, particularly in New England. We saw those temperatures dip, which of course may interfere with some of the plans to sit by the pool or the beach or barbecue outside. But listen, we are still seeing a large number of travelers. That will not change. The majority of them, as usual, taking to the roads. So regardless of how you're traveling, just remember, there's a couple of things. If you're traveling by road, you want to travel in the morning, late at night to avoid the peak congestion when it comes to those traffic numbers. And then here at the airport, this is the first holiday we're going to see since those real ID requirements first came out. So just, of course, if this is your first time hitting the airport, don't forget that as you head out the door.
And Portlanders, your water about to go up. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll tell you why and how much. Plus, we have another edition of Healthier Together. We're talking about aging and why doctors say connecting with people on social media might actually be a good thing. The Sunrise streaming at 7 continues right after this. Oh, we're taking a live look from our Oregon Zoo Skycam. Look at
goats. They're kind of almost hidden in that shot.
Yeah.
The way they're sunken into those rocks a bit.
But they're out and about. We appreciate it because sometimes we're just looking at rocks.
Movement. We've got movement amongst the goats there. A little movement of the head.
Paul and Jimmy coming at you. See you at 7:30.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on a Friday morning drive that has been relatively good. We had one trouble spot on the ramp right here. This is I-5 northbound from I-84 west. That earlier crash is clear, but as we check out some of the traffic cameras, there's a little bit of local slowing getting around that 84 west, a little bunched up coming out of the Hollywood district out near Providence Medical Center. One other trouble spot, I want to take you down to the south in the Donald area. Photojournalist Chad Dehart still on the scene of where this semi overturned near the Donald Aurora exit here. No word on any injuries at this point. The road has reopened and traffic is flowing, but just be on the lookout for folks working to right that truck and get it out of there. Let's get you out the door with a look live from our Rose City Sky Camera, looking down on City Fair. The cloud cover trying to break up a little bit this morning, and it will eventually. 51 in downtown, 51 in Wilsonville. We slide down to the south, it's 52 in Salem. The plan for today becoming mostly sunny. I've got highs up near 72 this afternoon, into the 80s on Saturday. We do have that shower chance on Memorial Day Monday morning. Outside of that, a really, really nice looking 7-day forecast.
Well, guys, we are here at City Fair. Rose Festival kicking off today, and we've had the smash burgers. We've showed you the Ferris wheel. We lugged some lumber. It's all been fantastic. Now, we're hanging out with Supernova, the strong woman. Now, she claims we tighten these handcuffs, she can break out of them, okay?
If the wrist ain't blue, it just won't do.
If the wrist ain't blue, it just won't do. Those things are on as tight as they can be.
Very good job, Thomas. You've done this before. If you ever feel like you're trapped in chains and Prince Charming just ain't coming to the rescue, you do not have to be a damsel in distress. You can set yourself free by being a distressing damsel.
A distressing damsel? All right, those
Yeah!
Is that metal? Gone. Supernova, the strong woman. 1, hard metals. 0, guys. That's just a little sneak peek of what's out here at City Fair this weekend. Rose Festival going all the way. All right, I like this. I like that. A little bit of this going on. Okay. All right. Supernova. She breaks metal. She dances. Does it all out here, guys. Maybe a little bit more of that.
Yeah. Two-step Tommy, you may have met your match there with Supernova.
Break stuff.
You know, Thomas is yoked. I don't know if you ever seen Thomas with the sweater off, but that.
He doesn't know his way around the weight room, huh?
You've seen Thomas with his sweater off.
I guess I should have been more clear about that. Have you ever seen Thomas in a t-shirt, not a sweater? 7:30, half hour of sunrise on a Friday morning. A little off the rails, but Chris is going to bring us back on here with a look at our forecast.
I'm going to celebrate us getting outside with an awesome forecast. How about that? Let's start off with getting out the door right now with a live look from our Chehalem tasting room camera in Sherwood. It's just looks like a painting this morning, doesn't it? 50 degrees in Sherwood. Elsewhere, we're 49 in Camas and Battleground. Scappoose waking up to 51. Nobody terribly chilly west side of the state this morning. Well, let's say that. Silverton's at 45. But in any event, generally fairly comfortable stuff out the door here. Mid-50s now. 60s by lunchtime. And look at that. A sight for sore eyes. I've got Portland getting into the 70s this afternoon for the first time in about 2 weeks. But wait, there's more. It gets warmer as we go to the weekend. I'll show you that in a second. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. We did have some trouble on the Banfield, 84 westbound. What you're looking at is the camera that points down at the ramp from 84 west to I-5 north. There was a crash here just a couple of minutes ago. It looks as though that crash has cleared. We'll switch gears, though, and you can see traffic is a little thick coming out from the Hollywood district out near Providence Medical Center towards the I-5 split. So a little bit of local slowing there. Outside of that, the freeway drive is mostly in good shape. I do want to take you quickly back down to the Donald and Aurora area where a semi overturned earlier this morning. Photojournalist Chad Dehart on the scene. There you can see that semi. No word on any injuries. The highway was briefly closed to allow emergency crews to get there. They've got some work to do to get that thing offloaded and out of there, but the ramp is open and the freeway through Donald on I-5 northbound is also open. Drew, China?
Thank you, Chris.
I do think that we should get to the amendments to take money from police and give it to parks, because that's the main event. That's what the fans paid to see.
Our top story, that is, here at 7:30, a controversial move by City Council to move $2 million that was earmarked for Portland Police over to the city's Parks and Recreation Department.
So council members voted 7-5 to approve the transfer. Portland Police Chief Bob Day says the money designated to the Bureau by Portland Mayor Keith Wilson would have helped the Bureau with recruitment, hiring, and retention. He told City Council this week that any reduction could have consequences.
There will be a reduction in services. How those services will show up, I don't know yet.
Meanwhile, Parks and Recreation said the $2 million would pay for cleaning, graffiti removal, roof repairs, and maintenance at dog parks, playgrounds, trails, and more.
Sustaining this funding is vital for Portland's parks to remain clean, safe, and functional.
In a statement, Mayor Wilson said, in part, we're looking at how the decision to remove $1.9 million in proposed PPP funding may impede our efforts to recruit a next generation of law enforcement. We can't let our continuing high crime rates, response times, and livability issues go unaddressed. Also come out of that meeting, an 11-1 vote to increase water and sewer bills for Portlanders. The increase comes out to be a little over 6% and will go into effect on July 1st. Customers can expect to see the increase begin to show up in either July or August, depending on their billing cycle. And on top of that increase, the Portland Water Bureau adding a credit and debit card processing fee of 2.9% for customers who use that payment option. Up until this point, the city had just been absorbing the cost. Customers can pay in cash or with a checking account to avoid that charge. Portland City Council President says that the rate hike for water and sewer is needed despite the hardship it may cause.
I know that all of our families are really struggling, and any increase right now is difficult. These are increases that allow us to meet the needs of our utility systems, and when we put those increases off, we see exponentially larger increases later.
A representative from Public Works says that the average this rate increase will add between $8 and $9 to customer bills, more if you use a credit card, of course.
Results are still coming in from Oregon's special election earlier this week. We're going to go to Polk County here. A bond measure to build a new police station in Dallas does not look like it's going to pass. The latest numbers show that the noes still hold the lead with about 55% of the vote. The police department asked voters to approve a $17 million bond that would have paid for a new station, almost tripling the size of the current space. For several decades, the Dallas Police Department has been spread out across several floors in City Hall. The department says that tight quarters and limited storage space makes working there impractical.
We know we have to do something. What we're doing now was intended as a stopgap 20 years ago. And it's still in place. It's kind of ran its course for what it's the gap that it's able to fill.
Dallas police first tried to pass a bond for this more than 2 decades ago. After what appears to be another failure to get it passed this time around, the department says it's looking for other funding options.
Republican lawmakers in Salem are pushing back against a bill that would allow striking teachers to collect unemployment benefits. So Senate Bill 916A would allow teachers to collect unemployment for up to 26 weeks starting 2 weeks into a strike. Because teachers don't pay into the state's unemployment insurance fund, districts would have to cover those costs. The bill was voted out of the House committee earlier this week, despite superintendents of 8 large school districts in the state sending a letter to the House members opposing the bill.
It hits with the money that we have to sustain the education for our kids. We're already so far down in the nation for our education. I just don't see how this is helpful in any way.
House members will likely vote on the bill next week. If it passes, it heads to the governor's desk.
After Oregon lawmakers turned down a bill that would have banned student cell phone use in schools all across the state, Governor Kotek is weighing in, saying that she may use executive action to make this happen. The bell-to-bell bill calls for students to keep their phones off and away for the entire school day, and that includes lunch and passing periods. Some students and parents say that they're worried about communication during emergencies, and some districts say that they can't afford the special pouches that are often used to secure students' phones. But one way or the other, the governor says she is committed to curbing phone use in schools.
From bell to bell, we need to keep cell phones away so kids can focus in the classroom, be more supported, be more connected. It's good for their well-being. Research is clear.
If it does become law, Oregon would become the 22nd state in the country to have a statewide policy that bans the use of cell phones in schools.
As we head into wildfire season, lawmakers are warning that a big chunk of eastern Oregon and central Washington could be left vulnerable due to cuts by the Trump administration. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell says the cuts will leave the National Weather Service office in Pendleton without a meteorologist working the overnight shift. The Pendleton office covers an area from Bend to Yakima to northeast Oregon. Senator Cantwell asked the Commerce Department for an exemption, citing the public safety impact, but the administration went forward with the cuts and a hiring freeze.
Oregon's electric vehicle rebate program is back, so here's a look at some of the opportunities. The standard rebate applies to anyone buying or leasing a new eligible vehicle, and it's worth up to $2,500. There's also what's known as the Charge Ahead rebate, which is geared towards low and moderate income households. That rebate offers $5,000 for used and $7,500 for new vehicles. Funds are limited, so you have to act fast here. Rebates, by the way, do not apply to any vehicle that was bought before yesterday, May 22nd. For more information on all of this, you can go to Oregon.gov.
Starting today and running until September 1st, you will need a permit to park at the Big Multnomah Falls lot off I-84. You'll need to go to recreation.gov and buy a permit for $2 with a designated start time before you arrive. We do want to remind you that permit does not guarantee a parking spot. ODOT says that you should definitely check before you leave to see if the lot is already full on tripcheck.com.
All right, Rose Festival season has arrived. City Fair opens today, and yesterday the Rose Festival revealed the Grand Marshal for the Grand Floral Parade this year. There you see Tula 2. And there she is, live and in person, if you will. The Oregon Zoo's baby elephant will be the Grand Marshal of the Grand Floral Parade. It's coming up on June the 7th. She's not walking in the parade, though. That was the first question everyone had. Is she going to be in the parade?
Why not?
I don't think they want her away from zoo grounds. That's the issue there. They say they will simply make a float in her honor. And that's been done before as well. They did that for Packy a few years ago. Packy was like the ultimate patriarch of the zoo's elephant family, and he was also at one time the Grand Marshal of the Grand Floral Parade. He was a lot bigger than Tulatue at the time, though. Probably like, I don't know, 12, 13,000 pounds, Chris.
I feel like I could insert a Rod Hill comment here.
What do you got?
Well, I would say, now if I were Rod Hill, he would probably say, China, the reason why they don't take the elephant out is because there'd be a lot of cleaning up along the
You're
way.
Using Rod Hill to cover yourself for a comment that you're making yourself
that.
on the show. Don't hide under the veil of Rod Hill,
I will
Chris.
not do that. Yeah, I think that'd be a cool idea though, to have the elephant out on the parade course. That'd be kind of cool, right? All right, here is from a big animal to a small animal. Here is today's KGW Dog of the Day. Meet Todd. Todd's just hanging out here. Dog of the Day at kgw.com is your email address. If you want to get a proper shout out to your favorite four-legged friend, please do that. Alexis Baxter, thank you for sharing. Todd looks like a sweetheart. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the Rose City Sky Camera. It's looking down, of course, on City Fest, which begins today. We've had Thomas Schultz out there all morning bringing us all the wonderful, fun stuff that you can do this weekend down there at City Fair. Looking above, you can start to see the cloud cover breaking up just a little bit. 52 last check at PDX. The plan for today has us in the 70s for the first time in almost 2 weeks. It's been a really cool run of weather here since about May 10th, right? So definitely temperatures on the cool side, but we warm up today into the 70s and even warmer as we go to the weekend. Saturday looks fabulous, 82 degrees, slightly cooler, but still pretty good on Sunday with a high of 79. And then we turn our attention to what may produce some showers and thunder showers for the east side of the state on Sunday evening. Let me show you Futurecast. Today, not much going on. Tomorrow, not much going on. Lots of sunshine. Let me roll the clock through the day on Sunday. Our next weather maker gets a little bit closer, and it does ignite some showers and possible thunder showers across central and eastern Oregon Sunday evening. As that front sweeps onto the coast on Monday morning, it will eventually bring us a round of some light rain, we think, Monday morning. Light, we're talking maybe a few hundredths of an inch, so not a lot. But the point is that there is some wet weather in our Memorial Day Monday forecast, specifically in the morning. Outside of that, a dry and relatively warm forecast, certainly warmer than where we've been. All right, let's get you out the door and a look at the roads. Right now, we take you to Wilsonville. I-5 traffic zipping right along on that side of town. We'll switch gears real quick. Door number 2 takes us over to the Banfield. We had some trouble there a little while ago. The ramp to I-5 North was a crash about, 45 minutes ago. That crash has cleared, but in terms of Friday morning standards, traffic's a little thick on that side of town. Quick check behind door number 4. Well, I wanted to show you that. The Sunset's tapping the brakes a bit coming down the hill from the zoo as well. Right now, that's about an 18-minute ride to get you in from Hillsborough. China?
Thank you, Chris.
Healthier Together, sponsored by Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon.
May is Older Americans Month, and in today's edition of Healthier Together, we're talking about ways to stay healthy as we age. So the World Health Organization estimates that 1 in 4 older people are experiencing loneliness and social isolation. The American Psychiatric Association found that 30% of American adults feel lonely at least weekly. And in May 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General declared loneliness a national epidemic, saying it poses a health risk equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day or more.
It's really important to combat that loneliness by trying to stay connected to other people, by engaging in social situations, maybe even trying to schedule time each day, whether it's time for in-person socialization, sending an email to a friend or relative, some time on social media, especially like Facebook, where there's synchronous audio and video where you can connect with a family member or loved one.
He says another option is to sign up for a group at a local library or senior center. Not only can less loneliness lead to longer life and better well-being, but he says it can also improve chronic medical conditions like diabetes or heart disease. To learn more and watch all of our Healthier Together stories, visit kgw.com/healthiertogether.
They call a vamp.
A vamp right here. I like this.
It's a vamp.
This is Jacob Westfall here, giving us some nice, sweet tunes early this morning, Friday morning. Friday, guys. City Fair kicking off. Jacob, one of our performers that's going to be out here this weekend. We got dozens of concerts. You got some smooth tunes like this, just giving us a little nice reprieve as the sun's coming up this morning. We're going to be talking to him in just a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. All things City Fair, right here on KGW. This is the place to be.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pidawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pidawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Well, Memorial Day suggests summer is here. So does the Rose Festival. And the Rose Festival does kick off later today with the opening of City Fair. City Fair is going to run along the downtown waterfront for the next 3 weekends.
So Thomas Schultz is covering all the rides, the food, the fun, the music, apparently, live on the waterfront. So Thomas, what you doing out there now?
Guys, we're just hanging out with Jacob Westfall. Just taking some of these tunes. Keep going for us, Jacob.
Did you see me singing on your TV screen?
TV
Was it
screen.
the making of a good dream? Is that the coolest thing you've ever seen? Did you wanna be just like me? Well, that was back when you were just a teen. Poor kid wanting big things. You were caught up in your fantasies, but in secret you believe.
I like that. So Jacob, one of our performers out here this weekend, tonight, tomorrow night. I mean, people heard a little bit of your singing right there. What can people expect out here tonight?
Well, tonight we're going to be doing a collaboration of a bunch of powerhouse vocalists that are all headlining each weekend, right?
Nice.
You've got myself, my name's Jacob Westfall, and then we've got our buddy Jermaine Malone. We've got a duo called Presidio and another lead singer called Reb and the Good News, and we're all collaborating with this amazing backing band called Hiroki, fronted by a little TikTok famous guy named Salvatore Manalo.
Nice.
And we're going to be performing a bunch of covers that everybody loves at 9 o'clock tonight, and with the fireworks.
Fireworks coming a few minutes after that, right? Too?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, going to be a full time. And look, this is just the start off to the weekend, of course. It's going to be going all Memorial Day weekend long. Of course, the Rose Festival going on all the way to early June as well. Besides, I mean, what can people expect? I know there's dozens of performers that are going to be out here for all of the Rose Festival, right?
Yeah. Well, there's 65 performances on a few of these stages out here, and they just do a really, really good job of supporting local art and community, and with music is the foundation of a lot of art and community, and so you're going to be having all of these musicians out here with a bunch of their friends and fans coming out and singing songs that you guys know tonight.
So Jacob, can you give us a little bit preview of one of your songs you're going to be singing? I think feeling in the mood to get some dancing in here around here. So you just kick us off with one of your songs.
Dancing with the acoustic guitar?
With the acoustic guitar, it's kind of my favorite kind of dancing, really.
Yeah, we know we get down and dirty at a Jack Johnson concert,
It's true.
right? Yeah.
Jack Johnson's and banana pancakes. It's just, there's something about it.
All right, let me give you some.
Okay, it's a little bit. All right. I'm more of a shimmier myself.
Ain't no little problems, I ain't got time today. Got bigger dreams to follow, so you just have to wait. Your silly situations tend to complicate, so I got a solution. Get out of my way, shit. I got something good in me, good in me, good in me. I got something good in me, and you can bring me down. I got something good in me, good in me.
Guys, all weekend long. All weekend long. You get stuff like this. You get Jacob Westfall. You get 65 performers. You can't beat the City Fair, guys.
Tommy, you got enough? Come on. You have enough inside of you to keep it going all weekend long? Is it possible?
Two-step Tommy?
Look, Drew, after that smash burger, guys, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready. I'm ready to hit the town out here this weekend.
I like it. We're going to send it over to Chris here. You did an awesome job today, Thomas Schultz, by the way. Fantastic work down there at City Fair. I like that Jacob recognized, oh, this guy wants to dance. I'm going to pick up the pace on the guitar a little bit and make him move his legs.
Burgers, clowning around, talking Ferris wheels, and he's done it all.
All we need now, Chris, is an ideal
Is the
weather
weatherman to
forecast.
deliver.
What do we got?
Like weather that's actually worth celebrating this weekend. Hey, you're in luck. We've got that. Let's go ahead and get you out the door right now. A really pretty look from our Chehalem tasting room camera in Sherwood. Broken cloud cover continuing to break up even more as we get deeper into the morning. It has been a cool run of weather over the last 12 days or so. Not your imagination. May 10th was the last time Portland hit 70 degrees. We actually hit 71. We've been in the 60s ever since. Well, we're going to warm things up a little bit today and especially tomorrow. Our forecast for today, the plan calls for cloud cover breaking up. Temperatures getting into the low 70s this afternoon, again for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. And then we warm it up more heading into tomorrow. 45 right now, though, kind of a chilly start along the coast. This is a live look from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Cascade Head off in the distance and already the sky clearing there. So I could probably update this and say no more cloud cover, right? The clouds are decreasing ahead of schedule and temperatures getting into the 60s at the beach this afternoon. Clearing out towards the Dalles, 54 last check there. The gorge forecast really, really nice and becoming mostly sunny. The Dalles gets up to about 76 with a light west breeze today. It was chilly in central and eastern Oregon to start the morning. Cloud cover there should break up very quickly. Despite a start in the 30s, Bend gets into the 70s. Arlington 76 this afternoon. Baker City flirting with the 70-degree mark as well. And kind of a sight for sore eyes, right? Up and down the I-5 corridor. We all take a run to 70 degrees or pretty close to it this afternoon. We will tack on a little bit tomorrow. In fact, Saturday is going to be the warmest day of the next several. I've got Portland topping out at 82 degrees tomorrow. And then slightly cooler on Sunday, depending on how much cloud cover comes in. And our next weather maker may be turning the flow a bit onshore. Let me track that for you with Futurecast. Again, tomorrow, the weekend starts off beautiful. Hardly any cloud cover across the region on Saturday. Fast forwarding Saturday night and Sunday, the flow kicks onshore. There's also, and I got to keep pointing this out, that along and east of the Cascades, there is at least some threat for a shower or rumble of thunder Sunday afternoon. So getting over towards Three Sisters or up towards Arlington or Bend or Baker City, you guys have at least a chance of a thunder shower on Sunday. West side of the state will see increasing cloud cover. And there comes our weather maker for Monday morning. Again, a shot of some light rain early on Memorial Day. And then I think that's pretty much out of here. That'll knock the temperatures down a little bit, but the rain at this point, I'm expecting that to be out of here in the first half of the day, leaving us with a partly sunny afternoon and highs near 70. And as we mentioned, there's a one-day shot of heat, 88 on Wednesday of next week. I don't want to just bypass the weekend, but that's worth noting that is a number that has been inching upward very steadily in our computer models the last few days. So Wednesday could wind up being our first 90-degree day of the year. We'll wait and see on that. Okay, let's get you out the door with a quick look at the roads. Right now, we start off with Wilsonville. I-5 traffic zipping right along on that side of town. We had no problems over the Boone Bridge this morning. Quick look at the Sunset. We are riding the brakes a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel. Right now, 18 minutes is your commute in from Hillsborough. 18 minutes your commute in from Troutdale. Guys, no major freeway trouble out there right now.
What we do have, Chris, are some birthdays to talk about here on the Sunrise Show. We start with a cutie by the name of Elijah, turning 1 year old today in Salem. Happy birthday, little guy. Rowan, turning 6 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Rowan. Charlie, entering the teen years. Out in Aloha, happy birthday, Charlie. Big Matt, a big 44 years old today. Happy birthday. And then we've got two 58-year-olds to close things out. We've got Karen. Happy birthday, Miss Karen. And we have Janine, who's turning 58 today on the coast in Astoria. If you have a birthday shout out you want us to share on the air, you can just send us an email. It's birthdays@kgw.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
We've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind. There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. A quick look at the roads. There is one of the only slow spots I could find on this Friday morning. It'll probably be much different this afternoon on Getaway Day, but for now your drive times are in pretty good shape. And the forecast looks even better. Let's get you there. The 7-day looks awesome after 2 weeks or so in the 60s. We get to 72 today, 82 on Saturday. We do have that rain chance Memorial Day, Monday morning.
So never mind what the calendar may tell you. I think a lot of people believe that summer runs Memorial Day weekend until Labor Day weekend, which means summer is here, right? Memorial Day weekend is this weekend. We're going to take one final shot here from the waterfront. Oh, yes. I did not know we were getting this.
Two-step Tommy.
It's City Fair.
Oh, he's ad-libbing. He's vamping.
Whoa.
We got good times. We got good rides. We got
Thomas Schultz live along the waterfront. Great job today previewing City Fair. It opens tonight, runs through Memorial Day, and then it's back for 2 more weekends, officially kicking off the Rose Festival.